because they figured they figured we were getting enough education. So they thought maybe this before all this. Oh, but that's been so long ago. But it wasn't. I just thought it was adamant about everybody. It was good.
You press the volume button. Yeah, press the volume button.
All right, thank you all for coming tonight. We are ready to start our processional. Our graduates will be in. All right, graduates, you may be seated. This is the point where I welcome you all to our graduation tonight. Hopefully you know who I am, but if not, my name is Tiffany Millen, and I'm the director of the Natomas Homeschool Alliance. We like to say that, homeschooling is a very family affair. So if you're here tonight, we hope you will feel like family. And of course, if you're here tonight, you probably really are family. The Bible says that every good and perfect gift is from above. And I think we can all agree that there are just almost no better gifts than the ones sitting on this stage tonight. They may not be perfect because parenting wasn't maybe quite as easy as it looked, but they are, in fact, some of our best gifts. Another thing I think about this year, we learned that there are things that we just took for granted that we could lose, even if it was just temporarily. And I think that makes us even more grateful for the things that we have. And just the ability to gather here tonight, knowing that the vast majority of California's graduates this year did not get to have a graduation in a room, even with just their immediate family. So I think we just have a great deal to be thankful for. And I think it is fitting that we open our ceremony tonight in a word of prayer of thanksgiving. And so one of our seniors has agreed to come, and I'm so grateful for that. Caleb Stransky, would you come and open us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this amazing moment we get to share with our family and friends. And though it's been an unconventional last semester, we thank you for all the memories we've made in a year we'll always remember. And as we hopefully go into less crazy times, please give us your guidance and direction in our next steps and to make an impact with our future choices. We thank you for an amazing school, teachers, and group of people to learn with. Amen.
Thank you, Caleb. And then one of our seniors thankfully stepped up and agreed to do a speech for us. And that is no small thing. So I always like to put our students at the top of our program so they can be done and hopefully enjoy the rest of the ceremony. So at this time, I would like to ask Janina if she would come over and do her address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and family and friends. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I would like to start off by saying what a privilege and blessing it has been to be homeschooled. As COVID hit and I watched a few of my friends struggle with going from in-person classes to online and suddenly homeschooling, I could only chuckle to myself because outside of my few on-campus community college classes, not much has changed for my school schedule, perhaps much like some of you. As homeschoolers, we are often ahead of the game. Homeschooling is an academic journey like no other, filled with freedoms, choices, responsibilities, and often last-minute learning vacations. Those in the public classroom school system may not have the freedom to enjoy. To be homeschooled has always been in our best interests, and to our parents, despite past opinions and sometimes challenging all, I would like to personally say thank you. You made the right choice. Homeschooling has opened many doors for me, allowing me to explore my individual interests, gifts, and callings, all the while, and has allowed me to be bravely confident in who I am today. I hope my fellow graduates here would be able to declare the same. I would like to take a moment and share some pearls of wisdom I have gained in my journey. Although I'm 18 years young and number 5 of 7, I have many siblings to look up to and glean to, as well as my parents and spiritual mentors. We are taking a giant step into a life unknown, especially in the unsettling times we have experienced recently. Some may have plans set in stone, some may not. Personally, I fall into the latter group, and that is okay. We are young, but we are a generation with a voice like no other, and every single day we get to wake up to a day filled with brand new opportunities to influence the world for the greater good. Let us not go on about life longing for past moments of our high school days to happen again, but go out into the world and live in the moment while moving forward to our future callings and stations. Cherish those you love, the events, conversations, and adventures that will define us as we move on, so we can look back with pride and joy at how far we have come. Be yourself. Don't be what the world or those around you want you to be, or pushing you to be. Look within who you are and who you have been created to be, and to know that the deepest parts of your own heart have yet to be discovered. Never put up a wall that keeps you from showing your truest self to the world. Be free, make mistakes, learn from them. My mom says, failures are often the best teachers. The only way you can successfully grow a garden is through trial and error with the correct tools until you find the perfect batch. Find those tools, the friends and family in your life that will help you succeed and become the best you. Life is short. Make the best of it. And as we enter into young adulthood, may we be free to be spontaneous, for we are never aware of what tomorrow may hold. To close, I would like to briefly acknowledge my family members. Please take the word briefly with a grain of salt. My family is quite the size, but each one is so important to me. Mom and Dad, Colleen and Joe Gerardo, thank you for raising me and teaching me how to be a better person every day. From last-minute lunch dates with you, Mom, to bonding over fishing shows with you, Dad. Every moment I have to deepen our heart connections are the moments I'll forever cherish in my heart. Thank you for believing in me and always being my #1 fans. And always saying goodnight with a hug and a kiss, even on the days when we all are exhausted. The grace you have for me, as I am undoubtedly my own unique person, is unconditional and never-ending. Thank you. To have you both by my side as I start this new season of life is something I will never take for granted. To Adam, my oldest brother, and his wife Paris, and their 2 kids. Paris, my precious since I could remember. A second mother to me, a sister and a friend. Adam, the brother that asks the hard questions in life and expects an answer the same time the next day. Truly, I am thankful to have you both in my life. Noah and Stella, Noah, my first baby. Stella, the little girl who I could talk to for hours about anything in life, from Barbies to how to cook. You both have brought so much joy over the years, and it's an honor to be your auntie. To Alexio, my second oldest brother, and Nicole, my newest sister. Alexio, always my knight in shining armor ever since I was 5, asking to sleep in your bed. To watch you become a man, and a successful one at that, I want to say that I am so proud to be your sister. Nicole, you have been intentional with me since day one of being brought into this family. And for that, I say thank you. We will forever be the best of friends and sisters as well. Seeing your weekly text of thinking of you means more than you'll ever know. Thank you both. My eldest sister, Megan, and her husband, Nick. You two have set the example as to what a good future could look like for me. You have never once abandoned me, and for that, I am truly thankful. Megan, thank you for letting me crash your office on Mondays and Wednesdays between college classes. We've had many laughs on those days. Nick, for being the best brother-in-law a girl can ask for. From academic advice to life advice, you both have always been there, so thank you. My second oldest sister, I know it's a lot, Gabby. Oh Lord, I could go on about you for hours, but to keep it short, your connection with God is a baseline for my own personal relationship with him. You've honored him your whole life, and I look up to you more than you'll know. You've allowed me to be goofy and have helped me to grow. Working at Starbucks with you was the best 8 months, because that is when we both became closer, I think. I'll always value you and the wisdom you carry, even at 22. Thank you for everything. In honesty, my life may look different if I didn't have your sound mind and voice to help me when I'm overwhelmed. To Matthew, or as I call him, Matt Pat, my little brother, the one who dethroned me, but in latter days has grown bigger than me and 100% became the protector when I need it. I enjoy our car rides together and the way we can laugh while doing chores, because laughing and being a comedy duo is something we are great at. I know school isn't over for you yet, but if I made it, trust me, you can. And my last sibling, Bella, my little sister, my roommate, my chore mate, and frankly, my mini-me. You've helped me grow into a big sister. It's different being a big sister to a boy than to a girl. And with you, I only hope to be the best role model. I hope we could go on in life being best friends, despite our petty arguments now. I love you. Don't you forget that. Also, sorry for keeping you up on late nights when I have to finish a paper. And lastly, to my grandma Verna. I've had the privilege of spending so much time with you these last 6 to 8 months. From driving you around, listening to the endless stories you carry, to playing card games and somehow always being 200 points behind you. I want to share with you all a truly amazing moment I shared with my grandma on Father's Day. We were driving. I was taking her to church. She was going on and on and on, and I just stopped to look at her as we came to a red light. She smiles and asks me, "What are you looking at?" And I say, "Well, you." I say, "Grandma, I don't have many friends in this season, so you're my best friend." The way she lit up is like nothing I've ever seen before. She grabbed my hand and smiled, saying, "You know what? You're my best friend too." To walk with her these last few months, I've learned patience and truly learned how to love someone the way God loves them. So Grandma Verna, thank you for teaching me so much, supporting me and being my best friend in this season. I love you. And to my whole family, I love you all. Thank you again. Thank you for letting me speak. It is a memorable opportunity I am very happy that I got. And to my fellow 2020 graduates, let's take the world by storm, all while being ourselves and having a great time doing so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janina. That was great. All right, now we have a little entertainment. We have our senior tribute video.
Well, hello. little baby. Your eyes have never seen the sun. You should know, little baby, that I am the lucky one. I get to be the one to hold your hand. I get to be the one. Through birthdays and broken bones, I'll be there to watch you grow. I get to be the one. Don't feel alone now, little baby. Do you hear me singing you a song? I can't wait to show you, little baby, how to crawl, how to walk, and how to run. I get to be the one to hold your hand. I get to be the one. Through birthdays and broken bones, I'll be there to watch you grow. I get to be the one. How does someone so small hold my heart so tightly? I don't even know you. I love you completely. I get to be the one to hold your hand. I get to be the one. Through birthdays and broken bones, I'll be there to watch you grow. I get to be the one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Trees are made for climbing, days are made for sun, puddles are for jumping, fields are made to run. Stars are made for counting and for wishes coming true. Sleep is made for dreaming, and I have dreams for you. May you never lose the wonder in your soul. May you always have a blanket for the cold. May the living light inside you be the compass as you go. May you always know you have my hand to hold. Stones are made for skipping, stories made to tell. Life is made for living. I pray you live it well. Learning comes from trying, so don't be afraid to lose. Songs are made for keep you, fill you with His peace. His face will shine upon you, even as you sleep. Every day you're changing. Sometimes I wish it wasn't true. Hearts are made for giving. I've given mine to you. May you never lose the wonder in your soul. May you always have a blanket for the cold. May the living light inside you be the compass as you go. May you always know you have my hand to hold. May you always know you have my hand to
I made it through the entire previous ceremony without a single tear because I am a professional. However, I don't know how this is going to go now because that definitely undid me. So I now get to give the address, which normally we have a different member of the faculty, so it's just not me the whole time, but we were trying to conserve guests tonight so we could have as many family members here as we were allowed. So it's going to be a little bit of a different kind of a speech tonight, and it's going to include a quiz at the end, which I know you're all graduated and you are completely done with taking quizzes. So I would never expect you to answer questions without a bribe. And I have right here a $100 check for the person who can answer my questions. Now, if you were in the last ceremony, you probably think this is going to be an easy quiz, but this is a bigger stakes game, so it's going to be a little harder. All right? So pay attention. I attended graduation a few weeks ago, and the salutatorian got up and he gave a speech. And his opening line went something like this: I always knew we were the unluckiest class ever. And as he went along, he got to this line, and there is no silver lining. It was a great hook because I was enthralled. I was like, how is he going to turn this around? What's the punchline here? There was no punchline. And I appreciated his honesty because, I mean, not too many speeches go like that. I've been to a lot of graduations, and that was the first one I'd ever seen like that. But it just made me think, how many of our young people are feeling that way? So tonight, I just wanted to give you a couple of pointers that can help you defeat those kinds of feelings. It's been a dark time. Global pandemics don't come along very often. But in the 100 years between global pandemics, we've had a lot of other crises. There are great times, high times in life, but there are also low times. And one of the keys that can really help you when you're tempted to only focus on the negative is gratitude. And I have found that to be so true in my own life, and I think it works for everybody. When I get down, my children know when I'm feeling a little depressed because I fire off these really long, awkward emails telling them how awesome they are and how glad I am to be their mom. And it just makes me feel happy inside. I look at my family, and that is something I can always be grateful for. And it's not because we're a perfect family. My husband likes to say we put the fun in dysfunctional, but we still have each other. And you know, that young man at that graduation, I think he probably had a lot to be thankful for as well. He had a family who sent him to a private school at great expense. I suspect they really loved him, but he was focusing on the wrong things. So I would encourage you, when you do get to feeling down like that, because there are going to be national crises, there are going to be regional crises. Every year there's going to be somewhere a fire or an earthquake or something, and your life is going to be full of these cycles, and sometimes you'll have a personal crisis. Look for things to be grateful for. Mr. Rogers liked to say, do you know who Mr. Rogers is? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? A little bit. He died in 2003. Most of you were born by 2003, right? So you overlapped a little bit. He said, look for the helpers. Look for the helpers. So that could be maybe like the first responders or the neighbor who rescues the dog from the neighbor's fire. I think we saw it, you probably were familiar with the work of John Krasinski recently. He did a show during the pandemic called Some Good News, because people love when during times of hardship to hear positive stories. And it worked out really well for him. I think he did like 8 episodes of that, and then he ended up selling the rights to it for a fortune, because that's how popular it was. So just remember, that's the first answer to our quiz tonight. Gratitude, okay? That's number 1. I want to tell you, I'm gonna spend the rest of my time tonight, and it is gonna be kind of a long speech, so that's why I'm giving you $100 at the end. I want to tell you about a friend of mine who understood very well gratitude. The day that I met her, she came in with her 3 kids. They came to our classes. At the end of the day, she came up to me and she asked me if she could give me a hug. And I just met this woman, but I was like, sure. And she thanked me for helping her kids and herself to feel so welcome here. And you know what? I didn't do anything special for her, but she understood the importance of just really being lavish with her gratitude. 3 years ago, she spoke at this graduation. She wasn't on the program. Her son was on the program. He was our student speaker, so he was scheduled to speak right after the prayer. 7 o'clock came, and they were not here. I fired off a text, "Where are you?" 10 more minutes, she said, just 10 more minutes. So we waited, because after all, he was going to be on the program. They were very late. When she finally came in, I met her in the hallway. They're all bringing in. She had cooked enough food to feed an entire dinner to the 200 people that were sitting here, because that is what she did. She met me in the hallway and she said, "Tiffany, I want to speak tonight. Do you trust me enough to let me speak?" And of course, I said sure. And so I'm going to read you part of what she said in that speech. But a few days after her speech, I wrote a blog post to honor her the way she had honored me. And I'm going to read you that blog post, which will then come to her speech. It says, "I have a friend who is extremely courageous, and she inspires me. Through tragedy, life has taught her that opportunities don't always come around again, so you can't let them pass. She speaks freely and loves fully. She lost her mother in childhood and became an orphan at 22, so today her habit is to leave very little unsaid. She lives the American dream the way many immigrant families have for hundreds of years. It isn't all that romantic in the first generation. It is a lot of hard work and delayed gratification. Her and her husband managed a hotel in San Francisco, which provided them and their 3 children a place to live. It was far from an ideal arrangement, but they saved until they had enough for a down payment on a home in Sacramento, where homes are a little more affordable, but still out of reach for many. Today, her husband works long hours to support his family. The last I knew, he was an Uber driver. Their children will take that work ethic and go to college and have boundless opportunities. The American dream is alive and well. She's a full-time stay-at-home mom who stays even busier than most because she dedicates herself to volunteer work. She is an incredible cook and manager of resources, and she can feed hundreds for less than most of us spend to feed our family. She participates in various ministries to the homeless, and when she can't find an organization to join with in filling the needs, she just organizes her own outreach. She is an amazing fundraiser who has single-handedly raised tens of thousands of dollars for a school overseas that serves children in great need. The other night, she stood up in front of a church full of mostly Christians, and she honored me like only she can. I can't picture myself walking into her world and having the courage to do what she did. She is an incredible ambassador who is willing to overlook a lot of discrimination and believe only the best about this country and its people. She is one of the most patriotic Americans I know. You see, Shabana is from India. And in the few times in their lives when they got to go back to India, she shared with me that she told her kids, they were having a good time, they were visiting family, but she told them to look carefully because she wanted them to remember when they came back to America that America is the best place to live. Very early in our friendship, she asked me if she could set up a table at school with a sign that said, "Meet a Muslim, ask me anything." I couldn't let her be a sideshow, but she doesn't need a sign. Her genuine love for people and warm personality have won the hearts of a community that hasn't had much opportunity to know someone of her faith personally. The other night, when I applauded her courage in standing up in front of a church full of Christians, she paid us the highest compliment of all. I only saw really loving humans who were there honoring our future. My courage came from my love for you, didn't know if I could honor you again like this in life, and didn't want to let the opportunity pass. Shabana always said that none of us are promised tomorrow, and she lived her life very much like she believed that. As hard as it is for an awkward introvert to graciously receive the public honor of a bubbly extrovert, I want to honor her by extending her work as an ambassador to an even broader community. So I'm reposting the words she spoke in our graduation, and this is part of what she said. Hello, my name is Shabana. Our family moved from San Francisco less than 2 years ago, and I walked into NHA like most do, lost and confused. There she was, calming me down and reassuring me that I won't ruin the lives of my 3 children. In this day and age, it is easier to misunderstand a Muslim than to embrace one. She not only embraced me, but she went beyond to gift her friendship. I once asked her if I could sit with a sign that read, meet a Muslim. She honored me by saying, you don't need a sign. People get to know you for who you are. And she wrote this poem. It says, Sisters. She has soft platinum hair. I cover mine. She grew up in a small town. I grew up in San Francisco. We are different, no doubt. Her eyes are deep green gems. Mine sparkle brown. Her skin like a porcelain doll. Mine is honey in the sun. Hey, Tiffany, we are different. Your family has been here since before the revolution. I am immigrant since the age of 6. With so many differences, why are we so alike? Our love for God, our concern to raise our children correct, your desire to serve a huge community, and my obsession to feed every person who does me good. You are a wonderful writer, I a loudmouth speaker. We let no difference of religion, race, or culture, my samosa or your hamburger, pull us away from true friendship. Hey, Tiffany, we are the unsung heroes of this journey, and I am so proud to have you in my life. I don't have a plaque or certificate or huge basket of gifts. All I have are my words and my food that I cooked for you all. And as I mentioned, she did cook food for everybody. Shabana and I have a great deal in common, though you wouldn't know to look at us. She gives and loves and serves in an endless cycle of doing for others. I aspire to do the same, but my contributions happen in a world that easily accepts me. Hers happen in a world that is naturally suspicious. She has done nothing to earn that suspicion, and she refuses to let it slow her down. She is amazing, and I am so proud to have her as a friend. She once told me a story. She broke down one day beside the road, and she didn't have a phone. She had her 3 kids with her, and she told her kids that she was just going to go out and flag a motorist. And her oldest son said, Mom, no one's going to stop for us, because he understood that it was obvious to look at her that she was a Muslim, and he didn't think anybody would stop. But Shabana absolutely always believed the best in people, and she told him that they would, and she was right, and he was wrong. So remember that. Mother's always right. She was constantly helping those in need. She would go and volunteer at Loaves and Fishes. If she saw just a homeless person without shoes, she would run through a thrift store to fill that need. And one thing she did really amazingly well was raise money. She called herself #BeggarForLife. And she actually raised enough money to build a school in Sierra Leone, West Africa. And I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. But July 3rd of last year, I was sitting in a parking lot at a church not too far from here, waiting for my daughter to get out of youth group, and I got a text from Shabana, and she said, can you come to brunch on Thursday? And this was Wednesday night, and so I wasn't sure if she meant like tomorrow or if she meant like next Thursday. So we were texting back and forth, and I came to realize that she meant like tomorrow. So I said, you know, it's the 4th of July. And she said, yeah, I know, I'm off work. She had taken a job as a courier, so she would go up into the mountains to a hospital early in the morning, bring the courier bags back down to a hospital here, and then she would be home in time to take her kids to school. And so on her day off, July 4th, I went to her house and we had brunch. And a story that I had told her before, but her life always just reminded me of the story. And so we talked about this story on that day. I'm going to read it to you, just because I don't want to go into too much detail and take you too long. But it says, as Shabana and I were having brunch that Thursday, I shared a Bible story with her that I know I'd shared before. I just couldn't escape how well she demonstrated the moral of that story, and I never hesitated to let her know it. In the New Testament, Jesus shares that the greatest commandment is to love God. He also said that the second greatest commandment is this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And one day, when he was out, someone asked him, who is my neighbor? So Jesus told this story to illustrate the answer. And the hero of the story has come to be known as the Good Samaritan. I'm sure most of us are familiar with the story. The Samaritan would have been ethnically different from the audience that Jesus addressed, and he also practiced a distinct religion with its own version of the scriptures. The neighbor that Jesus described was not like his audience, and in fact, they were very hostile to Samaritans. And his point was that the people we should love don't have to be like us. We don't have to look the same or have the same belief system. We are to love everyone. And that is Shabana's legacy. The story of the Good Samaritan illustrates the common barriers that people use as an excuse not to love those who are different from themselves. Often factors like race, national origin, and religion divide people. Shabana was from India and was a devout Muslim. Her dress reflected both her Indian culture and her faith. For many, her obvious differences were a barrier, but she determined to overcome that barrier with love. She knew that if we could just overcome some of the superficial differences, we would find we have a great deal in common. And as I said, Shabana was just an immigrant housewife. She did not have means. She did not have education. She was a high school graduate. She actually went back to college at age 40. She had some learning difficulties, but she didn't let any of that stop her. And I'm going to read to you a little section about a school that she started, and this was written by someone who lives in the village where that school is. In 2010, Sister Shabana started a school at the village of Rogbap, which I know I can't say that correctly, in Sierra Leone, the place of my birth. It was Rogbap's first school. Very quickly, the school was filled with students from surrounding villages, most of whom could not have otherwise had an education. There was no school in their area. Other children transferred from better funded schools that were located further away. Thus, all 6 grades of her school became filled at once. It cost her and her supporters $5,000 to start this school. A few years later, she raised more funds to build a bigger school to accommodate the many village children who were drawn to the school. This year, and this was written last summer, 9 of her first African children took their university entrance exams. They are all orphans, and they are now awaiting their results. When I shared this news with her, she wrote back saying, "They will become trees that shade others and serve others while having deep roots in the ground like you." Her friends knew little about the seeds of hope and change that she planted in Africa and continued to nurture with her love and selflessness over the years. The news of her death was a great shock to the children and communities she served in Sierra Leone. Prayers were performed for her in nearly all regions of Sierra Leone by people she never met and communities she never visited. You see, exactly 2 weeks after Shabana and I had brunch that Thursday, she went to work one morning and she never came home. A tragic accident claimed her life, but it didn't claim her legacy. So one of the many things that were started in her honor was the Shabana Patel Memorial Scholarship, which is a scholarship that NHA offers to graduating seniors every year. Several emails went out about it. Nobody applied. So $500 was left sitting on the table, but that's okay, because the whole point of that scholarship was just to share Shabana's story, to inspire other people to go out and love their neighbor. That's what Shabana was all about, loving people. All the stories I've shared with you this evening can be found on the scholarship website, shabanascholarship.org. Shabana's life illustrates that we can all be the helpers that Mr. Rogers was talking about. There are so many ways, both big and small, that we can do good and show love to those around us. If you've ever attended NHA orientation, which I know some of you have, you know that we always memorize our handbook. Our handbook is very simple. We have 3 rules, and they can be condensed into 5 words. So our first rule of school is respect. Respect the building, respect the teachers, respect other students, respect yourself. Very simple, respect. Second rule, be kind, right? Golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And because it's very dangerous to run in the hallways, our third rule is don't run. So that's our handbook for school. Tonight I want to give you a handbook for life. Again, 5 words. We're going to memorize it right here, right now. Number 1, gratitude, because that will help your outlook. Number 2, love God. If you're a person of faith, love God, because out of that will flow so many other good things in your life. But lastly, even if you're not a person of faith, love others. And that's what Shabana did. You know, statistically, if you're going to go out and live your life to get money, to get position, to get notoriety, you're going to find it not very fulfilling. Whether you're a religious person or not, living a life in service of others will bring you a lot more joy than otherwise. So, that's our handbook for living. We're going to go over it right now. You guys ready? Here we go. We got gratitude, love God, love others. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Gratitude, love God, love others. All right, you guys got that? You're not going to forget it, right? All right, you all passed the quiz. You all get $100 from the Shabana Patel Memorial Scholarship. And no, I'm not a boomer, but I know that's what you were thinking. All right. let me see, we have now come to our rose ceremony. And my eyes are really bad, but I do know that those are not roses. I was at Costco earlier this week. They had roses, every color, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful roses. Today I go there, not one rose, and the lady assured me I could go to every Costco in the region and I would not find a single rose. So tonight we are having our first ever tulip ceremony. The idea of this ceremony is to give our graduates an opportunity to honor the people in their lives who have been instrumental in where they have come so far in their education, things like that. Tulips are a little more delicate than roses. I learned this, so you kind of got to be careful. But there are actually 3 different places you can get them. There's one way over there, there's 2 right here. So I'm going to go ahead and ask our graduates to just go ahead and fan out, take whatever roses you want, there are plenty, and go and say thank you. And I will give you one little clue. Always give one to mom, always, always. Thank you, dear. All right, we have come to that portion of the evening where we will be awarding our diplomas. How this is going to work is we're going to go in alphabetical order. I will call the family up. I will sit down. You will have the mic. I will ask the student to join you when your representative gets up here. You come up, stand up here so they can all see you. Because we know that the parents are going to be standing here giving this award, Emily is our photographer tonight. She'll be taking pictures, so pose for the photo op, and we're going to make those pictures available to everyone. If you want to, of course, get your own pictures, you're more than welcome to have somebody do that for you. Their stack of diplomas are right here, so you can just grab the top one, use that. If you are inclined, because sometimes at the end it's like, oh, what am I supposed to say now? If you want to, this is just a little verbiage that says, in recognition of your many years of academic study and completion of all graduation requirements in the state of California, it is our privilege to represent you with this high school diploma. So you are welcome to read that or not. Entirely up to you. I literally wrote it today. There is nothing magical about those words. So I don't know why I didn't have the ones we've done the other 5 times we've done this, but it wasn't on my computer. We are going to start tonight with the family of Caitlin Blom.
Hello. Okay. So first of all, let me see how this is. I would like to take a moment to thank Tiffany for putting together this wonderful graduation ceremony to honor all of our seniors here tonight. So let's give her a round of applause. Okay. I would like to tell you a little bit about our daughter, Caitlin, who graduates tonight with high honors in academics and in fine arts. From a young age, we knew Caitlin was an extraordinary girl. She is clever, creative, goofy, generous, and very determined to be true to herself. Since she was old enough to hold a crayon, Caitlin has been creating art, and we noticed the perspective on how she saw the world was quite unique. It wasn't just seen in her art, but also by the way she expressed herself verbally and in her writing, and through her photography. Looking through her pictures, we saw that our 4-year-old had captured images of everyday things from a viewpoint that was not expected. Through her photography, Caitlin has shown us how beautiful ordinary things in this world can be. Caitlin has also had wonderful opportunities to do some spectacular things throughout her childhood. She studied martial arts, piano, dance, drama, and filmmaking. Caitlin has worked with some amazing professionals and has played roles in local TV and radio commercials, short films, and a feature film. For several years, Caitlin competed in statewide dance competitions and danced the magic twice for Disneyland's Summer Classic and Disneyland's 60th Anniversary Diamond Celebration Parade. All of these experiences were made possible because we homeschooled her. Currently, she works 2 retail jobs, but dreams of working as a photographer and possibly owning her own photography business. Caitlin is well on her way, having photographed an engagement and a wedding, taken special photos for family and friends, and photographed the process and performance of a theater production at the Woodland Opera House. Let's see. This is a lot. This all started. So our whole homeschooling journey started when my husband encouraged me to pull our son out of school in 2nd grade. And I did, and it has worked out very, very well. Kevin graduated from NHA in 2016. So Caitlin's graduation concludes our homeschooling adventure. This journey has created an incredible family bond. We are fortunate to have an opportunity to educate, support, and encourage growth and creativity in our home. Caitlin, we love you and are very proud of the young lady that you have grown up to be. We will always encourage you to keep learning and growing as an adult. We know that life will have its ups and downs, but continue to keep a positive outlook and follow your heart to create a life that is joyous and find a career that is fulfilling. Today we stand here honored to be part of your graduation ceremony, and now it is time to give you your high school diploma. Congratulations, Caitlin.
All right, next I would like to invite the family of Dawson Hardy.
Hello. Whoops. I'm short. Whoops. I have there we go. Dawson began his educational journey at Trinity Tots Preschool and Alberta Elementary School, and he moved to the Natomas Charter School PACT program in 2nd grade. And that was our first experience with homeschooling. So he is the first child I homeschool, and it's been really wonderful. Dawson has always been the kind of person that really loves helping others. And that's been evident from the time he was a young child. He has a real heart for others and has just really done well in helping other people. And he's been active as he's gotten older in a variety of organizations as a volunteer, including the Orville Hope Center. After the campfire, we went and volunteered there and really enjoyed it. He's helped with the Mothers Against Drunk Driving charity, and he helps at our local food closet at our church. He served at the Union Gospel Mission. He loves drama. He's kind of our funny kid. He's funny even when you get tired of someone being funny. It just keeps on going and going. But he keeps us all laughing, and he's got a real quirky sense of humor. That kind of grew into a love for drama, and homeschooling has given him that opportunity to be in several drama productions. So he's been in a few Shakespeare productions and some comedy classes, and that's been really enjoyable and so fun to see him doing that. He's also part of a youth drama team at the church we attend as well. He's really enjoyed his experiences here at NHA. Starting at PACT has been really special because he's grown up with some of these kids all the way from the beginning, like Caitlin and Chase, and that were at PACT before and also here. So this has really felt like home. I really appreciate all that Tiffany has done for our kids, and it's just been very, very special. One thing that happened, I don't know, when were you inspired to do the EMT stuff? Was it the campfire volunteering maybe? A little bit. So volunteering at the campfire really inspired Dawson to want to help other people. So he's had a real passion for becoming an EMT and possibly a firefighter. The first aid class here has also been very inspiring for him, and that kind of encouraged him to take some college classes in that same area. And he's just come so far. He's working a job now, and just very, very proud of him. That little boy that's all grown up now. So we appreciate him, and it's been a wonderful, long time being able to homeschool him. So congratulations, Dawson, on your diploma of graduation.
And I should mention that I am very thankful for Robin, who has been Chase's ES at South Sutter since we left PAC. So it's been, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And she is awesome. And if you were looking for an ES at South Sutter, she's never got any room. But if she did, she'd be excellent. Our next family is Janina's family.
Kids always love when I can embarrass myself. Congratulations. Tiffany, I just want to also reiterate what a treasure you are. We just found NHA this year. We've been doing this for 24 years, and things have changed a lot over the years. And so many of our older kids had fellow high schoolers to homeschool with. And that's just not the case anymore, because we're of that old breed, you know, that has a private homeschool. But we like the freedoms in that. And so we found NHA at the last minute, and Tiffany, like everything she read and everybody else has said, was just so welcoming and so could relate to me. And just this whole year, it has just been an amazing experience for our family. And she is just got the most grace and works so hard. So Tiffany, thank you. Thanks so much. Janina Grace. Although you're our 5th child, you're also the child of many firsts. You were the first surprise blessing of 2 more to follow when we were sure our quiver was full. You were the first baby born to us after we survived the Y2K. You were the first to demand to walk to the beat of your own drum and to choose to live outside the box even when I didn't want you to. You were the first to interpret my instructions as negotiable or only relevant if it worked for you. You were the first to cut your hair, and you didn't stop there. You cut all your bangs off as a toddler, and then you cut your baby brother's curl too, after promising never to cut your own hair again. You were the first to refuse to pray with us during family devotion, worship time, when not in the mood. You were the first to cause us to stop and thankfully rethink the way some of our rules and how important they were maybe needed to change, and instead tune into Holy Spirit for a better way. And you are the first to graduate in the midst of a pandemic, and hopefully the last, just saying. Janina, you've accomplished much academically And just outside of that, even outside of that, you serve at our church so faithfully, in children's, doing events in the cafe ever since a little girl. You serve at other churches. You attended Awana's. You made it all 10 years and then served there as a leader for all those years as well. Swim team. After you were done being on the team, you helped coach for a long time there too. I just love how you're always willing to come in and be a support, and you do it so excellently. I love the fact that you're an amazing graphic arts novelist and author with many unpublished works, but they will be. I love that in the years of learning art and practicing art, even eventually, sometimes your face became your palette. You were so creative and so beautiful in doing it all. I love that you love everybody unconditionally. You are a great picture of what Tiffany spoke about today. You invite everybody to church, and you never judge anybody. You don't fit into the typical mold or what others may expect, and often you may be misjudged. But I love that you are finally being free to confidently be who God made you to be, a great friend and a faithful servant. You have influence and authority. Not long ago, people were speaking over her, and one person said, "I see you as a lawyer." And another one said, "I see you as a doctor." And Janina said, "No, I don't think so." And I said, "Well, you know what? You are a lawyer because you take up that justice cause for others. And you are a doctor because you're sensitive to the hurts and you are there to help people walk through it." So I don't think those were way off. So whether you become a tattoo artist, as you're currently longing to do, or perhaps a more general graphic arts major like I've been encouraging you to do, you will love folks well. You will impact lives for an eternity, and you're going to bring joy wherever you go, because you always have, and you always will.
Janina, it's been a long road, and I'm so proud of you, the way you've grown up to the young woman that you are. There's a home video that we made of her when it was called Battle for Bedtime. One of the theme songs was Wild Thing, but but I just want you to know that you make my heart sing, though, hon. You really do. I'm so proud of you and how you've grown up to the young woman who you are.
So, Janina Grace, who do you think you are? May you never forget. You are Janina, which means God is good and beloved. You are Graciela, which means favor and blessing. Janina Graciela, our fifth blessed babe, the child of grace. You are such a treasured daughter who represents the heart of the Father so well. You truly exude grace, are highly favored, a blessing to all who know you, and you are his beloved. Your desire to love well, your willingness to work hard, and steadfast determination to be the best you that you can be, wherever you are, ever relying on Holy Spirit in you, is inspiring to everyone you touch. Your brave willingness to come alongside and support others is such a powerful representation of the heart of the Father in you that builds others up. Janina Grace, you are an overcomer who honors well, and your destiny is rich. We are so blessed that you are ours. So as you step into this next season of life, continue to take hold of the power for you in your life verse from 1 Timothy 2:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So wherever you go and whatever you choose to do, Janina, just know that you bring the presence of God with you and will ever walk in the fullness of Papa's goodness, favor, and grace, while releasing all to others as well. This is your grace and your destiny. Take hold. Go forth. Fear not, love well, and be free to be who God created you to uniquely be. Continue to take chances and set your world on fire, because we love you much. Your turn. That's ours, and that's your turn.
On behalf of Solid Rock Christian Academy, your mom, your teacher, dad, principal, I'd love to present you this diploma.
All right, at this time, I'd like to ask my husband to join me and my son. This speech is going to feel a little bit of deja vu after the last speech. I promise you I did not copy it. 21 years ago today, we welcomed our oldest son into the world. Oh, right, where is he? Oh, he's not even in here. I'm gonna kill him. I am gonna kill him. All right. Happy birthday, Brendan, wherever you are. They snuck out. Tonight, we're ready to send our youngest son out into the world. Chase, I saw something in you almost from the day that we met that has become your hallmark. Brendan came back. He heard me. As a tiny baby swallowed up in an oversized baby swing in our living room, you would stare intently at the little beads that were attached to the tray, and you would will your rogue arms to swing up and fall onto those beads long before you had the muscle control to play with them. You have always had incredible determination. By the time you were 4 months old, you had mastered the use of those arms enough to pull yourself along with your forearms to get anywhere you wanted to go. For a time, you used that determination to keep up with your siblings, but it wasn't long before you started charting your own course. I remember the day that you were digging around in the cupboard and you nonchalantly mentioned, "Mom, I need a suit." Or the day you came in and mentioned, "Mom, I think I should go to Zambia this summer." Or, "I want to play high school football." You were the third child, but pretty much everything about you was a first for me. When your Zambia trip got canceled, I was so disappointed. But that summer, instead of going to Zambia, you made 2 new friends who were born there. Out of 200 countries in the world, what are the odds? Zambia came to you. At your baby dedication, the pastor prayed that you would be someone who chased after God. I think your football number 56 was the perfect follow-up for that, and this year Matthew 5:6 has become my verse for you. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Your determination will continue to serve you well throughout your life, and you will do many more things that are unique to you. We can't wait to see where it takes you. We are so proud of you. In recognition of your many years of academic study and completion of all graduation requirements in the state of California, it is our privilege to present this high school diploma to our son, Charles William Benjamin Millen. And next up, we have Michaela's family.
Michaela's sister graduated last year, and if you were here, you remember that I am the crazy single mother, working, adopting, crazy person. And last year, I had written all my notes on the back of a receipt. And so the girls asked me before we came, "Mom, did you write a speech this time?" But I have a regular piece of paper. It's still notes scribbled, but it is on a piece of paper. So my journey with Michaela began when she was 8. And in those very first months, I remember one day sitting at the table. Actually, I set the table. I set bowls out on the table. And I had been cooking all day. I had been cooking chili. The whole house smelled of chili. And so we sat down, I put the bowls on the table, and I called the girls to the table, and we sat, and then I put the bowl of chili on the table, and immediately, this one completely fell apart and began a screaming temper tantrum that lasted for 3 hours. 3 hours. I had absolutely no idea what the problem was, and I had to wait for 3 hours to find out. Okay, apparently bowls on the table meant cereal for dinner, and how was I to know, right? I had been cooking chili all day. So Michaela started out being a very inflexible child, right? So what was in her mind that she had predetermined was going to occur must occur, right? So if in her mind she had determined that we were going to have cereal for dinner, we must have cereal for dinner, and no one else was privy to what she was expecting. So this began an interesting journey. And you see before you a beautiful, balanced, strong young lady. I'm so, so proud of her. Michaela is my right arm. She's so strong. And talk about, okay, I thought I'm gonna have to rename my speech now because be a helper. Well, that's Michaela. Michaela is a helper, and no matter what it is, she's there and she's ready to put her body behind it. And she is a checklist person. So on the lighter side of things, when it was time to get ready for school, I had a little chart, you know, brush your teeth, comb your hair, get dressed, get your school books, whatever, eat your breakfast, right? And it took Michaela about 5 minutes to make one check mark, right? Mom, 3 more to go. I got the teeth brushed and I got the hair combed. I just gotta do the breakfast and get my books and put my shoes on. And then when it came to number, okay, I'm on number 4 now. And she's still a checklist person, but on her checklist of things to do, she is incredible what she is doing. I mean, this last year she was basically in charge of the whole kindergarten through 2nd grade Awana Club. When my mom moved to town, she helped clean up the trailer. She's my mom's go-to person when it comes to fixing things around the house. They just got done painting ceilings over there. She put in my garbage disposal by herself. She just got the box and got the instructions, took the old garbage disposal out, put the new one in. I think she has put up at least 3 mailboxes for me now because apparently someone in my neighborhood, you know, doesn't appreciate my mailboxes. But Michaela doesn't just help. Michaela helps everywhere and everyone. She's known around the church for being a helper. And when anything needs to be done, she's there to do it. But she loves people and she loves animals. She's a very caring, gentle person. And I know from that first temper tantrum, you wouldn't expect that. but she is. She's loving, and she's gentle, and she's kind, and she's helpful. And also, like Dawson, whose mom stole my thunder, she also wants to be an EMT. And her dream has always been firefighting. And I'm not sure about the firefighting end of it yet, because there's the fear of heights to overcome and some other things. But the EMT, we're going with that, and if that works, then it's paramedic, and if she's still going strong, then firefighting. So I just am so proud of her for getting past that fear of change and that inflexible determination to a more mature determination that is now a strength for her. So, Michaela, thank you for being my right arm. I love you, and congratulations.
And I just want to mention while I'm thinking about it, NHA is not actually a school, so we're just going to demystify this right here, right now, because a lot of people are really confused. Like the dad's looking here like, there's nothing in here. We don't actually issue diplomas. We can't. But every one of these students tonight was enrolled in a school. And many of them, you'll see, have different colored tassels. And those tassels are from the school that they were enrolled in that did or will issue them a diploma. Many of them have already received their diplomas. South Sutter is a little slow, but I'm sure it'll get here eventually. All right, next up we have the family of Alondra.
Hello. My name is Amalia, and I am the mother of Alondra. I don't speak English, but I'm trying to say something about her, okay? 18 years ago, a nurse congratulated me for being pregnant, but at 3 months pregnant, the doctor told me to have an abortion because the baby was not healthy, and if it was, but it would be born special. As a mother, I can't not do it. I decided to have her. No, I'm sorry. I to have her no matter what we have today. The truth is that the doctor was right. She's special. She's my baby girl. She's very strong, intelligent, stubborn, but I love her. That is just who she is. Alondra, your sister, and I are very proud of you. You are the last one graduate in the family, and that makes me very happy. It means I did a good job as your mother. You are special. All of my daughters are special. I love you, girls. I'm sorry. Congratulations, Alondra, and I thank you, and thank you, teachers and staff, for all the support they have given my daughter. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
In recognition of our many years of academic study and completion of all graduation requirements in the state of California, it is our privilege to present this high school diploma to our sister, Alondra.
thank you so much. I'm so glad I didn't have to come after that one. And we are down to the final graduate tonight. If the Stransky family would come.
Come up, Joe. Very difficult to follow that one. You speak very well, and thank you so much for having your lovely daughter. So what a blessing to all of us for that. So Caleb, homeschooling you has been such a blessing to your mother and I. You've always been an enthusiastic student and hard worker, and we've always been able to depend on you for a good laugh and silly antics. It's never a quiet moment around our house. Over the years, we've seen you face challenges fearlessly and overcome obstacles standing in your way. We have full confidence that in whatever your future holds, you will succeed at it. Caleb, you've become such a wonderful man. I really appreciate the way you take care of yourself. You always eating healthy, working out, going to CrossFit. Like you don't really want to, but you get on that bike and you go. I mean, you're just always taking care of yourself. I just really appreciate that. I love your character. I love hearing the stories that you come home, you just had a long day at work, but you come in and you talk to us and it's like, you know, my managers pulled me off to the side today and said, you couldn't see us, but we were watching you and you were just working so hard. And it just really goes to your character that when no one else is looking, you're doing the right thing. And we appreciate that. I think the thing I really appreciate the most and brings me so much joy is, what was number 2? You love God. And it just brings both your mom and I and our whole family so much joy to see you loving God. Like, you're up extra early on Sunday morning because you're getting dressed and you can't wait to get to church. I mean, it's like you even want to, like, I want to look good. I want to go get a suit. And so you get a suit jacket. I mean, Dad, show me how to, you know, tie a tie. It's like, and then you can't wait to go to youth groups. And it's just, you know, what greater thing in life than to have your child love Jesus. And we just really appreciate that, Caleb. And, you know, so it's our great honor and pleasure to present you with your high school diploma.
All right, we made it. You know, I was going to chase us out the door, but if you don't want to go out the door, you can hang out inside. But do your best to social distance, okay? We're trying to abide by all the rules. Graduates, please rise. And you may flip your tassels. Very good. It is my distinct privilege to present to you the graduating class of 2020.
You know I'm back, like I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. Been chasing dreams, but I never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life is a piece of mind. Seeking a find, I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride.